going on, Jerome's? So one of the major dramas this offseason was what the hell the crooked Chicago Bears were going to do with three-year starting quarterback Justin Fields, especially after the Bears acquired the number 1 overall pick in an absolute luck box deal with the Carolina Panthers. And, of course, you definitely did trust the brain trust, the genius eye over at the Bears with Poles and Eberflus not to F this one up. And Justin Fields, I've always liked Justin Fields. Man, going back to his time in Georgia, transferring to Ohio State, and it felt like he needed a lot of work and he needed a lot of help and support around him. And also, he probably would have benefited from not starting right away, maybe sitting for a year, probably 2. But the Bears tossed him in the fire. And frankly, in 2022, he had one of the best rushing seasons for a quarterback in NFL history. The problem was the passing, right? The consistency, the accuracy. You saw flashes, but last year with Luke Getsy, it just wasn't it. I'm still bitter about that loss against the Bears where Justin Fields threw like 74 screen passes and they somehow won, allegedly. But the Bears are moving on. Even though, do the Bears know that they're moving on from the 86th best player in the National Football League? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. But now he is a Pittsburgh Steeler, as the Steelers didn't give up a lot. It's a 2025 6th-round pick that can be a 4th-round pick if Fields plays 51% of the snaps. Now, I do think that Fields will compete with Russ in Pittsburgh, absent them potentially drafting a quarterback as well. But it's an interesting spot for Fields because he's heading to the final year of his rookie deal. The Steelers likely aren't picking up his 5th-year option, so it is a contract year for him. And, of course, it's always about us. It always comes back to us. And the whole Fields to the Vikings thing has been a talking point ever since 2021, where the Vikings allegedly had some interest in Justin Fields before settling for Kellen Mond. That one worked out. But yeah, a lot of people made a big deal about the video from the Panthers in-house team. Was like, Fritter is getting a call from Rick Spielman. Oh, they want to trade up. Obviously, it's for Justin Fields. Hold on. But I still think it was for J.C. Horn, who the Panthers obviously took. But the Vikings had the draft capital that year if they wanted to move into the 11th slot for Fields, like the Bears did with the Giants, because the Vikings were originally at 14, so it would have been a short putt. Plus, they had a ton of draft picks. So if Spielman and Zimmer wanted Justin Fields, they would have had Justin Fields. And Vikings fans, they can't let it go because Fields has done some interesting thing with the Bears, and I think for good reason the fan base was divided. Half of the fan base wanted to auction off that number 1 overall pick for a mint and build around Justin Fields. Half the fan base wanted to move on, and I think that Bears fans have been down bad for so long at quarterback that anyone who can provide a little bit of a spark, even if he's been inconsistent, Justin Fields still has potential, right? And Vikings fans connecting that is like, Justin Jefferson wants Justin Fields, the Justin to Justin connection, completely ignoring that this was from 2021. But yeah, whatever. But long story longer. So ESPN's writer Brooke Pryor, so she wrote a piece about how the Steelers transformed their quarterback room in 13 days with the signing of Russ as well as the trade for Justin Fields. But interesting nugget buried in the article, quote, Chicago, intending to move the 3-year starter as it prepared to select a quarterback with the number 1 pick in April's draft, was willing to give Fields some say in his next destination. The Steelers were one of 4 teams on Fields' radar prior to the start of free agency, along with the Vikings, Raiders, and Falcons, a source familiar with Fields' thinking said. Now, this does track with what Jeremy Fowler of ESPN wrote on March 3rd about how the Vikings were surprisingly on Justin Fields' radar. And, you understand why Justin Fields would want to be here for all the reasons why everyone and their mom is saying that the Vikings are a great landing spot for a rookie quarterback, because Justin Fields, you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, you have Hawkinson, Darrisaw, blah, blah, blah. We've been over everything. And also the fact that Fields would be coming into Minnesota not as the guy, and also you'd have O'Connell and McCown and that defense and all that stuff. But, the Bears are dumb, except I don't think that they would trade him in division, right? And also the fact that Poles has insinuated that they took less to send him to Pittsburgh. Now, would the Vikings offer more? Maybe like a straight up 2025 a 4th-round pick, no conditions? Maybe. So maybe they did take less to send him out of the division and out of conference to Pittsburgh. But I don't know, man. I feel like it could have been fun, right? So Justin Fields was ultimately traded on the 16th. The Vikings signed Sling and Sam Darnold on the 13th, so they already made their decision before Fields was ultimately traded. But I don't know, like, even if the Vikings did trade for Justin Fields, I don't think it would have precluded them from trading up and finding their future quarterback of the future. Future quarterback of the future. Just put that on a shirt. So it really would have been no muss, no fuss. And like I said, he's on the final year of his rookie deal, and I doubt that the Steelers will pick up his fifth-year option, so he's probably going to be a free agent after the season. So here's what's going to happen. Here is the best-case scenario. So the Vikings, Sling and Sam Darnold, he staves off the rookie. He has a phenomenal season. The Vikings tag and trade him to a very quarterback-needy team, especially since that 2025 quarterback class is looking very poopy. For 2 first-round picks, they hand the baton over to rookie quarterback TBD, as well as Justin Fields. Give it to my baby. Strolls on into the great state of Minnesota, looking to rehab his career. Things with the Steelers didn't quite work out, and he purifies himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, signing a cheap backup deal, and now he marinates. Now he develops. Now he actually gets some good coaching from McCown and O'Connell. So maybe. Who knows, man? But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN reports that the Vikings were on Justin Fields' radar. When you think about his next location of team, let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.